Leonardo was not the first to create the effect that the eyes of a painting are following you around the room, but the effect is so closely associated with it that it's sometimes called the Mona Lisa effect. Excerpt from Leonardo da Vinci, written by Walter Isaacson, published on October 19th, 2017. Today I'm going to inform you on the history, creation of one of the most influential and mysterious pieces of Renaissance art, the Mona Lisa. The Mona Lisa is not just a mysterious or influential piece of art. It's history and dying history of that. According to an article written by Ludwig Heinrich, last updated on August 24th, 2024, it's one of the last of 20 paintings by Leonardo da Vinci. My name is Woodard, and I've done personal extensive research on Renaissance art, so I was very excited to delve into more on the Mona Lisa. So I will now present to you professional information that I found on the Mona Lisa. Today I'm going to inform you on the history, the artistic impact, and where the Mona Lisa is today. I'll start by discussing the brief early history of the Mona Lisa during the Renaissance and how the Renaissance impacted her creation. The Renaissance period began in the early 14th century to mark the end of the Middle Ages and the beginning of a new era of classical learning. The time period heavily impacted the artist Leonardo da Vinci as it helped develop his artistic abilities. He would later paint the Mona Lisa during some point between 1503 and 1519. It was found in his studio after his death in 1519. Now that I've discussed the early history of the Mona Lisa, I'll now talk about her modern history and the ongoing mystery of her identity. Now I'll talk about some of the museums and the ongoing mystery of her identity. After the death of Leonardo da Vinci, his art would be assumed by King Francis I, where it would become part of the royal collection. The Mona Lisa was later claimed by insurgents and became property of the French people during the French Revolution. It was later placed in Napoleon's bedroom, but not long after that, the painting would be moved to Woodard Museum at the beginning of the 19th century. Later, the painting would be stolen on August 24th in 1911, but would be quickly recovered and returned to the museum in that same year, as the artist tried to sell it to a local vendor in France, but he contacted authorities that had it removed. It was also moved around from various locations at the start of World War II, as it was deemed an endangered piece of art, but was later moved back to Woodard Museum at the end in 1945. And since the release of the Mona Lisa, the identity of the portrait sitter has not been known, and there have been many speculations, such as his mother, a known merchant's wife, and even speculations that it's a representation of himself as an artist driven. Now that I've covered some of the modern history of the Mona Lisa, I'll talk about where she is now. Lastly, I will now discuss where the Mona Lisa is now and the progress on her mysterious identity and how she has impacted the whole painting genre. The current location of the Mona Lisa is still at Woodard Museum in Paris, France, behind bulletproof glass casing. The portrait sitter of the Mona Lisa is still to this day has not been determined. Recently, there have been attempts to link back with DNA to perform facial reconstructions via AI on possible suspects, but are still inconclusive. The Mona Lisa has made a lasting impact all the way from the Renaissance to modern day, revolutionizing portrait paintings. His three-quarter style would become the new standard for painting. Thank you for giving me your attention. Today I've discussed the history, artistic impact, and where the Mona Lisa is today.